Hello everyone, it's Sanna here today, and I would like to share with you Valentine's or Mother's Day project idea using some of the Elizabeth Craft Designs products. And for this particular project I've chosen to use the flamingos from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and these are designs by Josette. And these are the birds, the flamingos. And then I'm going to use the summer drink set, which looks like this. So you can combine these dyes and create different types of projects with them. And I'm going to concentrate mainly on the hearts and something cute to add to my project, love themed basically. Then I've also grabbed the Beach Sentiments clear stamp set. Maybe, I don't know yet, maybe I'm going to use one of these two. And as my present base, I'm going to use this particular box die. I think this is the pillowcase bag die. If I'm not telling the name correctly, I will add the correct name and the links to the products on my blog post, so you will find them there. So this will be my present box base, and the other dies I will use for the card and to decorate the box. And for the papers I've chosen white cardstock, which I die cut already all these little pieces from. And I also die cut some of the tiny hearts from the residue piece of this paper. And this happens to be the ModaScrap paper called Thinking About Polynesia. It's this type of collection, and that is the color I'm using on this project. And this is the base for the box. So I've already die cut that one because I wanted to save you time for watching. It's boring to watch me die cut things. And then I've matted a white card with the same paper to make these two match each other. And I've also die cut already one piece of another paper by ModaScrap, also available at the Elizabeth Craft Design store. And this one, this die is called Stitched Rectangles, and that's the one I've used. And the size of this one, let me see, is approximately 5 inches by, I don't know, 3.5 inches approximately. And the paper that I'm using is from this set. I'm sorry, I've already used all kinds of bits and pieces from this cover sheet already, but the paper is called Fly and Scrap by ModaScrap. So that's the one I've die cut here. So it's, I don't know, it's probably this paper. I think it was this paper. It has beautiful colors. I've just had a little bit left over from this paper. It has this watercolor effect on it, which makes it really, really beautiful on a background. Okay, so that's basically my starting point. I've already die cut everything, prepared my card background, and I've got some distress inks prepared. I wanted to use inks this time, not oxides, because I have more colors in distress inks than in oxides. So I'm going to do the coloring of these pieces with the inks first, and then build everything together. So I've got different types of pinks prepared, and I've got picked raspberry, Victorian velvet, worn lipstick, and spun sugar. And I'm starting with the lightest tones, and we'll prepare the part of the birds, these little tiny pieces, and the legs I think will need to be really light, or I want them to be lighter than everything else. And then I'll just grab a few hearts from the drink glass die cut set to color them really light, in light colors too. So I'm using my ink blending tool for this one, and I'm just applying the color onto the feet. So, and changing the colors depending on what I'm coloring. Really like that tone there. I'm not going for the natural flamingo look. I just want to use happy, soft, bright, lovely colors, because this is a love themed card. If it's for Mother's Day or for Valentine's, whatever. And this spun sugar, it looks really nice on the feet. So I think I'm going to keep to this tone also for the hearts. I don't know if the Victorian velvet is a little bit too, I don't know, darkish. Like a little bit, it's not so happy and bright in tone maybe. So I'll keep to this one. Looks better in my project. Okay, so I'm basically going to color these hearts and then move forward with another tone. So on the wings I've already added some of the spun sugar, just really lightly, mainly on the front, and then I'm going to gradually move to the second color to add some detail and shading around the edges. And I'm using the same ink blending tool because I don't have that many, but I always work my way from the lighter colors towards the darker ones, so I can use the same sponge for many colors. And here I'm just trying to add some shading around the edges and the color to gradually change from one tone to another. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it is a little bit darker around the edges, so it's probably going to add a more dimensional look to my bird in the end. I'm hoping, at least. And this is not a really strong contrast, so just moving from one color to another. And here I'm just doing one heart in this Victorian velvet tone, just to add a little bit different tones to my jar. So there's a little small difference in there. You can see it here quite nicely. So that's it. I'm not going to do anything else in this tone. And then I'm going to move for the stronger colors. But first I'll just wipe this residue ink from here onto the bird too, so that the basic shade is similar. And I'm also going all over every single area, because there are going to be parts coming onto his nose area later that will have a different color, so that doesn't matter. You can ink the whole bird with this tone. Of course, this is not the only way you can do it. You can color it the way you want. You can use water tank pencil, brush with watercolors or inks, or you can spray ink these birds, whatever you prefer, or use coloring pens or different types of media to color your images. I'm not a particularly good in coloring, so I'm using these inks. It's the easier way for me. So this one is Worn Lipstick, and I'm just wiping a little bit of this tone here and there to add more color. I want my flamingos to be really pink and happy, so I'm using a darker tone, but I'm not applying it everywhere. I'm just picking areas, just partly darker and partly lighter in tone. Let's hope this works. This is my basic idea. So adding light effects and depth. Can you see that? So there are different tones going on there. I'm hoping this works. Loving the pinks here. Going to be a really happy card. And then here, working my way around. Okay, and then also adding some pink to this tag that's going to be the sentiment tag on my jar, and trying to keep the color scheme similar. And just going ever so lightly over the surface here. So that's it. That's done. And then let's do one lipstick, toned heart there. And here I can add lots of color. I want this really to pop. And I'm working on a silicone mat, so I can easily clean these colors with a baby wipe when I'm done. So that's it. And then let's go crazy and add some really strong pink here and there. That might look good. And I've been thinking maybe I should do the straw also in really strong pink. Or maybe I'll use purple. I don't know yet. Let's start with the heart. So that is a really strong pink tone there. So I've got different types of hearts there. I think I'm going to do another one in really strong color. Just add a little bit. And you can mix these colors, you can apply them on top of each other to get a little bit different shading also. So there. And then just towards the end, let's go even darker. Okay. And some here. Let's make our birds pop. And then here too. Some here. And here at the feathers on the back. That's it. And maybe do just the edges here too. Might look good. Yep, works well. So this keeps everything together tone-wise. Just doing the edges here. So if you're scared of coloring your images, then maybe try with distress inks, start with distress inks and move from there. I find it easier for me personally to color this way than to take coloring pencils and do all the shading. There are lots of talented girls out there, but that is not quite my huge talent, so I'm keeping to inks and spray inks. It's easier for me personally. Just a preference, nothing else. And then let's do, I'm even going to use the purple on this one, and because I can wash this afterwards. So let's do the straw in strong. Purple. That's it. And this color is Seedless Preserves. It's a strong purple. And then I'm going to add some shading to the jar, which I will do with the broken china. I'm trying to keep it really light. I'm hoping I'm getting there. And I'm only going around the edges here, like this. And into the middle I'm going to have to use a brush and color that, because I think I want that to be light pink. So I'm going to grab my water tank brush and add some spun sugar into the middle, grabbing it from my working surface with the brush like this, and then just adding the shade here. And adding more color towards the corners to create a dimensional look. I'm hoping I can do this. I'm not really good at this. And when it dries, I hope I can live with the end result. Should be something. Maybe that's pink lemonade inside, so it can look a little bit crazy in there. Okay, so that would be my base for the drinking jar. And the nose piece is the tiniest ones. I think I'm going to just use my Posca pen to add some black color to them. If I can find it. Just a second. Look for that one. So there's my black Posca, and then I'm just going to color these. Nose pieces here with this marker, and also going around the edges, not to have any white areas there. Okay. So that's basically the card. And now I only need to put everything in place, and I'm almost done. Move this aside, not to make a mess here later. And while the noses are drying, I'm going to add a little fork stitching detail onto the card around the edges, just for an additional interest and detail. And then start building my card together. That will give me enough time for the Posca pen parts to dry completely. And it really doesn't take that long to create a set like this, so if you prepare all the tools and then just die cut everything in white cardstock and then add the colors with the ink blending tool, I suppose you're done in about 30 minutes with everything. So if you need a quick, if you don't have too much time in your hands and you need a quick project, this would be something you could consider doing. Okay, so this is just a basic black marker. This one happens to be by Faber-Castell. I have different black markers or pens, fine tip pens here, and to add all types of details like this one here. And then I'm going to adhere my sky onto the background, and I could use you can use the clear double-sided adhesive tapes here from Elizabeth Craft Designs, or you can use the Kids Choice glue that they have at the store, or any liquid glue that you happen to have at home. There are plenty of options out there. I like to use a liquid glue because I want my papers to stay put and stick really well onto the background. So I'm just used to using liquid glue. That's a personal preference. And then before I'm going to adhere the birds onto the background, I'm going to try and put the noses on. And I've got this really cute pink tweezers from Elizabeth Craft Designs, which work really well with small pieces. You can add, they are perfect for adding little details. Especially recently I used them to add tiny pieces of confetti onto a card. Worked really well. So these are my go-to tweezers for projects like this. And then I'll put this here, a nose on top of the other. And that's actually going to be the eye, so I will need my Posca black again to add the eye there. Just drawing carefully through this hole here, not making a mess. And the same for this piece, just adding some adhesive onto the already inked area, then placing the other piece on top and drawing the eye carefully inside the area. And then adding the second piece. And this glue dries clear, so if you have any glue adhesive residues anywhere, you can either wipe them off with your finger, or you let them dry because they will be transparent when they are dry, with this particular glue at least, so you don't see them later. Oops. Trying to fly away already, this birdie. So I've got my noses in place, and suddenly they look more like flamingos already. And then let's place them here and see how this would work really nicely. I think I'm going to put them like this. And maybe I'll add the sentiment inside the card or onto the present box. We'll see. And then put the here. And I don't mind if the birds go a little bit outside the lines. That doesn't matter. It's not a big deal for me at all. Just makes it more interesting. Okay. I could even add a heart there, but maybe I'll do that later. I will need these ones for my jar. Or maybe I'll do this type of heart. No, that's not enough contrast. Don't like that one. So that would be the birdie card. And I could add a sentiment here, but I think I don't want to. I'm going to put it inside the card. Just add this, maybe this one, We Flamingo Together, inside the card with the black ink. We'll do that later. Just adhere everything in place, and let's move on to the present box. And now I'm just adding the stamped image onto the card with the black ink there. So I've got my card done, got the sentiment inside, and got the flamingos here on top. There you can see it. So that's the card, and now I need to decorate the present box, and then we got this lovely set. So first I'm going to adhere the box together on the top, very top, to keep it from moving. If I add some adhesive here, then it will better stay in place, and it will be also easier to open in the end. So this is what the box looks like when it's built together. So you basically just go around these areas and fold them in, and these you fold out towards the outside, and then you just put everything together like this, close the box, and I would adhere this together. You don't have to, you just add a ribbon there and then it works as well, but I'm going to add just a little bit adhesive here and hold it together for a few minutes, and then, oh, my bottle is almost empty, need a new adhesive. Okay, so I'm just putting this there and then just holding it together with my fingers just for a minute so that the adhesive sticks and holds the paper put. That's it. And I've got my cute box. It's almost, I could give it away like this. I don't have to decorate this, but I just wanted to add this cute little thing on top like this to give it a more interesting look. That was just, you know, just something fun to add to this one. And then I will first adhere the straw on place. How should I do that? I think I'm going to put it in here like this. So I will just basically adhere, put some adhesive on this area here, go through here and adhere it on place. That's it. So that goes there. Let's put this together. And then I could add a sentiment here. What should we add there? I don't think... Relax would be really nice, but it doesn't fit. Cheers. Yeah, let's put the cheers there. Cheers and love. Let's put that over there. And when I'm using these stamps for the first time, I just add the ink there, and then I stamp on residue paper a few times just to make sure the surface is kind of pre-treated with the ink already. Then you get better images when stamping. So if it's a fresh stamp, I'm not going to use it on my final project first. I'm first going to stamp on a piece of Post-it or some kind of note paper to pre-treat the stamp with the ink. In my opinion, then the stamping images look better. So there's my sentiment. That will go there, and then I will add all these cute hearts in here. Just here and there. I don't know if I've got enough, we'll see. And I've got the same color going on here with this polka dot paper to keep everything together. And let's put some hearts here. I don't know. Like this. Just put that there. This one here. And maybe one here. Okay. I put that first there because I don't want that to move around anymore. To mark the spot. And then build some layers here. Let's put this one here. Second one here somewhere. Sneak that underneath before the adhesive dries. It dries fairly quickly, so I need to work quickly too. There. And then let's add one here. And one here. one into the middle here. Let's see how that looks. I think I'm going to need to sneak one more in there. Don't like to have empty spaces in the hard soup here. Okay. And then the sentiment. Really like these little jars. They are so cute. And then I could add some, you could even do, how is it called? The glitter, the fine glitter. You know what I mean, the silk microfine glitter. You could add hearts here, pre-treated with the glitter, and then it would look even more girly and lovely. And then I'm going to adhere this, I think like this, on top of the box. And that would be this lovely project. I think they look cute together. And then just add enough adhesive. And just a little bit here. This is really sticky adhesive. But if you don't want to make a mess, I recommend you use the clear double-sided adhesive, because that will also do the trick and it will not come out around the corners. We could also adhere that there so that it doesn't break. Just a little bit adhesive and just let it fall on place right there. So I've adhered everything in place, and this is the finished card. I added some glitter glue on top of this heart and die cut one more heart onto the flamingo card, just to keep them, the projects, the box and the card, as matching as possible. And on the box I've got everything on place now, and also here I've got some glitter glue on two of the hearts, just an additional detail. And I'm going to add probably just a tiny ribbon here for, you know, make it a little bit more cuter even. And that's it. That's the card and the box. I hope you enjoyed my video from today, and see you soon. Thanks for watching.